Welcome to our YouTube channel, Marriage Amiable. And today we'll be providing an update on our job hunting process. Earlier, we had shared that we were out of job for some reasons.
Yeah.
In my case, my contract ended, and in her case,
Yeah, I had to move on for personal reasons.
yeah,
Yeah, so that was in the month of September
September,
2023. We're still in 2023. So we decided that we were going to give updates on our journey of job hunting
yes,
because we took it as a challenge. In the same month, we were both out of jobs in United Kingdom.
Kingdom,
If
yeah.
you have ever lived abroad,
You understand how scary this
if
can
you've
be.
ever lived abroad where you don't have mother, father, brother, uncle,
Uncle.
even if you have these people, there is very little
Yes, they
or
can
nothing
do
they can
for
do
you.
for you. They can only
Yeah.
be waving at you from a
Say,
distance.
yeah, sorry,
So we didn't
sorry.
even bother to discuss this challenge with anyone.
Anyone? Yeah.
We realized that we had this before us and we decided to get to work.
Yeah. And
Yeah.
and what we said is that, we got here and we applied this job hunting process
Yeah.
that we, been
We had
talking
always
about.
used,
Yes. And
even
we
back home.
we landed jobs, you know.
Mhm.
This was amidst people saying, okay, why don't you get care jobs? But what we did was we leveraged our experience from back home
Yeah.
and we used that to land professional jobs in the United Kingdom. And we
Not
said,
just experience,
yeah,
because many people have experience here and they are still not doing the professional jobs.
yes,
So we leverage beyond the experience. We decided to activate our proven formula that works
yeah,
everywhere, anytime.
yeah,
And when we found ourselves in this situation, we said this is another opportunity to show people, because when we say these things, people think that, we just want to, talk for talking's sake.
yeah,
But this time we had live opportunity again to prove that these things work. And we decided that we're going to give updates, like frequent updates about the
yeah, on how
journey.
it was going.
So we're back again to
Yeah,
give our update of where we are. As at
yeah,
the last time,
yeah. I think we've had like 2 or 3 updates already.
no,
Okay,
we've had updates or series in total.
this is the fifth one.
I think about
This is
that,
the
yeah.
fifth one. So
So
we
we've
were
been giving,
sharing the journey,
yeah,
how we were making progress, some of the things we were doing,
yeah.
and then
And
yeah,
I think as at the last update, I had gotten my job.
yes,
I had got not just gotten a job, I had gotten at three, but two confirmed,
yeah.
and I was going to be deciding the one that I was going to go with.
So
So I have gotten my job and I have resumed. And at that time, he
yes,
was still in the process of, getting his own. And something amazing happened this week, right?
yeah.
Was it
It
this
was
week?
it was this week at the start of this week.
Okay.
I got an offer. Should I be specific on the role?
No.
Okay, so I want to talk
Um,
about the role.
oh, no, you're a
That is,
product manager,
yeah. So
so
a product manager. So
of a
it was a
company.
product manager
Yeah.
role, and it's a permanent role,
Okay.
and it's with a civil service organization.
Yeah, I think that's
So
all you
that's
should
that's that's enough.
discuss.
Go into
Yeah,
further
because this
details.
is
Yeah,
social media. There's
yeah,
some things we can't
yeah,
share publicly.
yeah.
Okay.
That's
Yeah,
okay.
so the beautiful thing is that, we had this situation in September,
Yeah,
and in within 2 months, thereabout,
yeah,
we were able to close that issue. And we're here to say, and the reason we started giving this update was because we said we were going to bring this out to the public and share this story so that people who find themselves in similar situations would not lose hope. They would see that some people have done something like this and that they will be encouraged to see that they are not alone in that situation.
and
And
I've got a question. Sorry for
yeah,
interjecting.
that's fine.
I want to ask
Are you
along
asking
the
me?
journey, yeah, along the path, and I know we
Okay.
asked this question.
Yeah.
Were we scared? Were we
Uh,
scared? And if not,
okay.
why?
I wasn't scared.
I know we had this conversation, so but I
Yeah,
want to bring it out so that you know the audience will see that we are humans. We are not
yeah,
like superhumans,
yeah.
right?
So it's
Yeah.
it's it's okay to be scared, but maybe why I wasn't scared was because for me,
Mm.
I had given myself a target.
Yeah.
I was going to start becoming scared maybe by January.
Okay.
Okay. So I told myself that I would work, do everything within me to see if I would change my story between September and the end of the year. So I didn't allow fear. So I said, this is my target. I want that by the end of this year, I will have a different story to share. Yeah,
Okay.
so yeah, that's what I would say. So I didn't, fear was not in my, it was not my goal. It was not
Yeah.
part of my goal.
Okay.
So maybe if I had stepped into the month of January. Okay, then another thing again, another reason why I wasn't afraid
Mm.
was because when I set out to achieve something, I have plan A, plan B, plan C, D, and onwards.
Okay.
So I had already, and all these things I mapped out in my book.
Okay.
I had my book somewhere around here that I wrote out the kind of companies I was targeting. And if for any reason that didn't work, then
Yeah.
I would change my direction. So because I have experience already and I had um, the kind of organizations I wanted to work with, I told myself, if for any reason I'm not able to achieve this between this time and this time, then I would have to change the people that I'm following up on.
Okay.
So this was my mindset. Yeah, so this was my mindset. So
Okay.
answer the question too.
Um, from my side, and I communicated this earlier that yes, I am human. I was scared at some point. The fear wasn't actually, you know, what my fear was
Yeah,
actually my my account. I was just looking at my account.
yeah,
So
yeah. And we
and
didn't
and
want a
and
situation where we would have to start, you know, yeah,
yeah,
where people,
yeah,
because at this time we didn't discuss this because we didn't
mm,
want, and that's the way we
yeah,
function. We don't
yeah,
like to make public
yeah,
our issues.
yeah,
We try to resolve it between ourselves because I
mm,
found out that, especially when people don't believe what you believe or how you believe,
yeah.
they may start
They will
sowing
start
they will start
sowing
sowing the
seeds of
seed
fear
of
in
fear
you.
in
Yeah.
you.
So
So we just kept this between us. I don't think we ever told anyone. I don't know
no,
about
no,
you. I didn't speak to anyone.
yeah. So
Yeah.
what for me, the fear was I was looking at my account
Yeah.
and I had my plan B, but I had confidence in the process.
That
Yeah, the
we were
formula that we're
working.
applying
Yeah.
because there's something about knowledge and also applying it. So we I was sure that what we're doing was right
Yeah.
and we're applying it right. So all it needed was a matter of time. So that gave me confidence. Um, while of course I had a plan B was if it was taking more time, I would enact plan B
Activate
immediately.
other
Yeah,
plans.
plans, but yeah, in the end,
It
this
worked.
week I got an offer.
Yeah.
So
So we're
yeah,
back to say that it worked.
it
Okay,
works.
we have the formula that works. Severally I've written that looking for a job is a job. And that was one thing we did.
Yeah,
We made looking for a job a job. I still remember the time we had minimum targets of what were some of the things we
yeah,
did
we're
again?
certain 10, 20.
10
There was a night
applications.
I applied to more than 70 jobs.
Yeah.
Yeah,
You really,
yeah,
really, moved, did
and
your numbers.
and just myself when I set my heart to do things, I make sacrifices and
Yeah.
a lot of sleepless nights. A lot of for me, a
He
lot of
had
sleepless
a lot
nights.
of sleepless nights.
A lot of
I
sleepless
was
nights. So
sleeping,
it became
but
because
I don't know. He
yeah,
was
so
staying up awake more than I
yeah,
was.
because for me those times, that's when my creative juice starts flowing, and
Okay.
I want to maximize them during that time. So
I love my sleep. So anything that is
yeah,
happening, at when people are supposed to be sleeping is not for me. So I did the bulk of my work during the day. So just like everybody will resume and go to work,
Mm.
I resume in front
Yeah,
of my
I was
laptop.
doing that as well.
Yeah,
Yeah,
we resume in front of our laptops. We take our bath in the
as if
morning.
we are working.
Yeah, and we sit down in front of our PCs and we just start
Continue
throwing out
working.
these applications, preparing for these interviews. In my previous videos, there was one of them I said that I was having interviews back to back,
Mm.
and these interviews were not children's interviews,
Yeah.
interviews where it was required of me to do presentations. In fact, I remember one interview. I remember one interview where by the time I logged on, I think there were about 8 people. And I was like, what is this job? What is this job? Wow, these faces. I mean, you know. So these are the kind of interviews that, I was I was part of. It was crazy, to be honest.
Do you remember the technical interview that I went for? Yeah, in the job description, as a product manager, for typically you wouldn't go into things like coding, things like system architecture and all that. It wasn't
Yeah.
your part of your day-to-day job, but this job actually described a lot of technical things. So
And you started,
I
I
I,
remember
I
you started
started
doing coding.
I
And
started
I was
I started
asking
reading up
him,
all those,
I was
system
asking him,
architecture,
does he want to become a
microservices,
coder
Kubernetes,
overnight?
Docker, and all that. So and she said no, that I should focus on the product management part.
Yeah.
And for me, I was like, those ones I know them, I do them, so it's not a problem. But so and she felt that they wouldn't ask me those technical things; they just
Mm.
want to put it there. So, but when I got into that interview,
The
the first
woman.
question was just technical. I just started hammering
Yeah.
and all that. But it's all good.
And by the time you
Yeah.
left the meeting,
I
you were
just knew
feeling
that
very
no, 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 no,
good
no. This
about it.
who they're looking for in terms of stuff. It's a new organization, so they're looking for people who would wear different hats, as the technical side, as the product management side, and all that. And then
What
possibly not what I wanted at the time. So
what about
part
my
of the
own
story.
experience where I prepared for this interview? Which one will I talk about? Which one? In fact, there was one. Let me discuss that one first. The one I had to go to Manchester. Honestly, this interview, I had to go to Manchester for it. I usually don't go for face to face interviews, but I think in this thing, I had to do 2 face-to-face interviews. So this was one. I went to Manchester for it. And this interview was from 10 till 4. You can't believe it. Honestly, this is the worst interview that I've been to in my life. Interview, I thought I was just going to do 1 hour. These people kept us there the whole day. The whole day. Honestly. This interview, there was case study. In fact, I was wondering, what did I come for? Was it course or interview? It was a whole day, a full day. The beautiful thing about that interview, the only beautiful thing about that interview was that at least they took care of my lunch. Okay? They bought us lunch. They really fed us well, bought me lunch and drinks and all that. But when I was coming back, I was just asking myself, why would somebody take my whole day? And the funny thing, so all the people that came for the interview, they were asking them, so how many people do you want for this show? They said, what? They said, what? By the time I left that interview, I told myself that I don't want to work for this company. This company that wants to keep me, just interview. You will take my whole day. 10 to 4. Engage me for a whole day. I don't think I want to work with you.
Yeah.
So these are the kind of interesting things that happen.
And do you want to mention that within this period, we used it to achieve a lot of other things,
Yeah.
kickstart things that we been procrastinating, and started the coaching,
Yeah.
teaching people.
Yeah, we use
how
this
to
period to
leverage.
restart our coaching business, and it's really been working out well. We were sharing with people, talking to people. By the way, sorry, it's a paid coach, it's not free. So it's a paid coaching because these systems have worked,
Yeah.
okay? And we were trying to help people to see that they don't have to be afraid of a new environment. Once you have your experience from back home, you
Mm.
can actually use that experience to get something for yourself. And yeah, at this point, we really need to talk about it. So if you're here in the United Kingdom and they have told you that is only care that you should do, we are here to tell you if you have experience, nothing wrong with care,
Yeah.
nothing wrong with care, okay? If you think you're called into that profession, go for it. But I think I shared a video where it was offered to me. I had done some bit of that in the
Mm.
past, but I didn't think it was for me because I'm not very good with health things. I'm always very apprehensive of medicine, hospital environment. I can't function there. I'm always very scared. So I am not cut out for it. So if you're like me, if you're like us, you don't want to do the care thing, we can help you, to put yourself together and get yourself sponsored jobs. And by the way, the jobs we got are sponsored
Yes.
jobs. Okay. They are sponsored jobs. We don't no longer need sponsorship anymore.
And this
But
is because we already have the global
yeah, we
talent
already have the global
visa.
talent visa. But the jobs that we still have now are sponsored. The job I got is still global talent,
And
and he
mine
got
is a
a
sponsor.
sponsored job.
Yeah.
So you are looking for sponsorship and you don't know how to find it, inbox us. We will discuss the terms and the conditions. T and C apply.
So
Yeah, I think we've
yeah,
said
thank
enough
you.
for today. Yeah, so it's nice catching up with you, giving these
Yeah.
updates again. So till we see you again.
Cheers.
Yeah.